Is it possible to install pre-finished door trim without a nailer and nails? Sure it is. Here's the how and why I did this. And there's a bit of a catch. I need to be able to install the jamb, the door, the trim in record time with only a drill, meaning no saw, no nailer, no glue, no nothing. But let's start with the door first. Check this out. Slightly different kind of door in this case. This is a cabinet door. Hinges on that side. Full overlay hinges. I got a frame here. But this would work on a normal passage door too. As long as you don't have super thin trim, which will make sense in a little bit. I pre-cut my trim on one piece of MDF and sanded it up. But you don't need to do that. It would be perfectly fine to pre-cut and glue your trim together and put whatever finish on it. I pre-finished my trim with a white lacquer finish. Casing that's going to go around my door, so it's going to act like my frame. Cool thing about that is I don't have any miters, so there's going to be no seams, nothing visible. It's all finished as one piece, glued together and finish it that way too. But why would you not want to use nails? Couldn't you just fill your holes and paint over it? Yes, you could, but that's harder to do on site with a lacquer finish. But the real beauty of this little trick is not only will your install look super clean, it makes for an incredibly fast install, which is why I'm doing this with my project. As it's supposed to be a wedding gift, however, I procrastinated and now it's 3 days before the wedding and I need it not only ready, but to be installed in a quick few minutes. Without hauling a bunch of tools with me to do this and waiting for multiple coats of paint to dry. I got my frame built and my frame's going to fit my rough opening. I left enough gaps, drilled some pocket holes and used a Kreg jig, put some pocket screws in there to hold my frame on rather than tack it down with a nail after. So it's all kind of one piece and I can just slide it in and away I go. Yeah, now you got something like that, so that doubles up. I'm just going to clamp these together, screw them from the back side here so you won't see any screws into my jamb here. Hold this together, and I'm just going to continue that all the way around. Using a Kreg jig and pocket screwing the trim in place is one way of doing things, but there's an even simpler way to do this, which dawned on me while I was getting things in place. Before I was doing a pocket jig, which would work, and in certain scenarios that would be the ideal way to go. However, I got thinking, it's kind of like a angle bracket. Why don't I just use angle brackets? I got the room and it's just 10 times more simpler and a lot quicker, so I'm just gonna do that instead. To save on time and tools I had to bring with me and lessen the chance of leaving something important behind, it was easier to pre-fasten the trim and pre-hang the door and to check everything was working properly. Though it wasn't like there was any time to fix things since I was heading up for the wedding that morning after loading in. I just measured and lined things up before screwing it in place from the back with the angle brackets. I also had to do a little adjustment on the door, which was easy to do with the European style cabinet hinges. Earlier I had mentioned that you wouldn't want to use too thin of a trim, and it's simply because you need a little meat to fasten to with the screws. If you didn't have much thickness, you could potentially glue it on, but this could make it hard to remove in the future without wrecking things. Well, driving to the wedding and it's starting to spit, and I got my box open. Gotta cover it, can't wreck my door. Well, the wedding day came, the gift was given, and so were lots of drinks that weekend. So the install got postponed by a few months, 6 months later. So we're gonna fill a hole. For shipping this, I just got a piece of board on here to keep things kind of together and not breaking on me. Take that off first. Oh my god, so hard to do one-handed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Two. Just slip that in there. Nice. Easy like. Yeah. And we're done. Just kidding. Not quite. But almost. There are some limitations to this method, And one being that you can only pre-fasten the trim on one side to be able to slide your jamb into place. The other limitation, of course, is if your trim is too thin to be screwed into from the back. Gone ahead and shoved some shims in there. Hopefully my screw is long enough. And I'm gonna get my partner to push on the door so that my frame is tight. There we go. It's wise to do one per hinge, and I got 3 hinges, so I'll just shim that out level and then do the other side. Because these are cabinet hinges, I got some adjustment, but we're just kind of looking at things are lining up on line. Door's got to go up a bit there, but that's not a problem. This side's fastened. It's a little tricky without a handle. So I'm just gonna fasten this side. Because we adjusted this side, got our line working out good here. What we need to do is just shim this side so everything's running parallel. Looks like the middle needs to be shimmed this way, which is easy enough to do. Bottom's same thing, just a little that way.
Right behind you.
Oh no. Just kidding. Like that. And looky, we have a door. Doesn't hit the telepost. Now to finish it off, I just throw a little caulk in that crack. You heard me. I like throwing caulk in crack. Like I said earlier, the main benefit to this method was that it was simple and quick to install, which allowed me some extra time to visit my family over the Christmas holidays, and haul more toys and less tools, which gave me more time to do some of this.